Welcome to Living Your Truth Out Loud, where we share real stories of the journey to a more authentic and fulfilled life. I'm your host, Crystal Scretching, better known as CScretch, and I have a special treat for you guys today. I am privileged to be able to share a story of someone who I hold very closely to my heart, someone that I met about 3 years ago, I think it's been now, and he has just been blessing so many people's lives with his ability to transform song and dance. And thank you so much for joining in, Dwayne Terry, better known as Purpose Mime.
Hey, thanks for having me, Krista. I mean, it's definitely a privilege. When you shot me the email, said you want me to do this interview, I was just like, wow, it was just such a perfect time. So thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So let me tell you a little bit about our guest today. Inspired by dance, Purpose Mime had humble beginnings as a member of a breakdancing group in high school. Seeing more potential than just dance, a teacher requested a performance of Purpose Mime that not only incorporated dance, but also added an additional element, mime. Being intrigued by the challenge, Purpose Mime accepted and discovered that with this new element, his passion for the arts was heightened. Performing was no longer just about expressing himself, but evolved into desiring to be a mirror for others to see themselves through the performance being given. If dance was the stage for this artistic expression, Mime is now the voice that connects and electrifies his audience to new levels of self-awareness. The goal of Purpose Mime is to connect people back to themselves through the introspective opportunities that his performances offer, while simultaneously changing the socially perceived definition of mime. How amazing is that? Again, welcome in.
I love that bio myself. My sister-in-law wrote that bio about me, so I have to give credit to her for that.
Absolutely. That's just simply amazing. And what I love about today's interview, guys that's listening, is that, you know, we interview so many different types of people from so many different backgrounds, and this is definitely a unique one. And I just really hope that today's interview really inspires you guys that are listening. So, Dwayne, I just want to get into, we know you do your interpretive dance, your miming, and you're transforming lives, but what was the journey to get there like?
I'm going to tell you what happened, Crystal. You know, I started dancing back in 2001. I had my language arts teacher ask me, because me and my boys used to break dance all the time, she asked me had I ever thought about doing something for the Black History program. And I agreed to doing it, but I had saw a group called the Mime Boys. I saw a mime at a conference, and so I asked a few of my buddies would they be interested, and we started. But it wasn't until 2013. Now, remind you, this was back in 2000, 2001. It wasn't until 2013 that I had a conversation with my mentor, and he said, look, Dwayne, it's time right now that you go ahead and take this serious. And if you go do this, you need to put your whole heart into it. And that's when I really locked in, and I felt like I had to take this thing to the next level. Now, I had been doing it for so long just to one area of music, which is gospel, because I felt like doing it to anything else would be a disjustice. But what I come to find out is that there are inspirational songs that have a message that help people. There are songs out there other than gospel. No knock against gospel. The gospel is amazing. But there are other songs out there that have a message that can empower and change lives. And that's when I turned the corner. That's when things really started transitioning. And I felt like God placed even a heavier call and a heavier anointing upon what I did once I changed my mindset. And through that, I found that a lot of lives were even touched even through that, just by me changing and doing other genres of music. And so the hard part was feeling, what will people think about me? And I was really concerned with that because I didn't want people to think I sold out. Feel like I was changing. Okay, you went from gospel, now you're doing, what some would consider secular music. But I had a peace about it when I prayed about it. My uncle came with the confirmation, and I'm seeing lives change through what God is doing through the art of mime.
Wow. So let me ask you, even before the pivotal moment happened, before you had to talk with your mentor, what really just drove you forward in wanting to even take a course like this, this course of life? There's so many things to do, right? I mean, you could have went to school and become a doctor. What really drove you towards this?
That I figured out that miming was my passion. This is what I was born and called to do. I never had anything in life where I woke up and said, man, I got to go do this. Or I couldn't go to sleep because I was so engulfed into the art of what I was doing. I haven't found anything yet, even in my degree in video production, or even things careers I've had or where I'm currently working. I never found something that really drove me, that made my heart race, that gave me goosebumps like mime did. And I can wake up and do it. That's what I do 24 hours a day, and it doesn't feel like work. When something doesn't feel like work, I feel like that's when you're called to do it. And that was the pivotal point that I knew this is what I need to be doing in life.
Wow. That's simply amazing. And I know as you guys are listening in on this, there's probably a lot of you, young, old, you still maybe feel like you haven't found your purpose yet. What would you say to that listener that's struggling with trying to figure that thing out?
I'm going to tell you this, for anybody that's listening. The first thing you need to do is pray, okay? And then once you pray, God will begin to start opening some revelation to you. You'll start finding things that you like, and then it'll start growing from there. But you have to go out and seek it. You have to try things. You can't just sit there and wait on it. You pray, and then you start digging. You start just touching in different areas of your life, things that you might that might pull you. It might be a construction worker. It might be a dancer. Go take some dance classes. Start trying to operate in that field or volunteering some time to see if it motivates you. See, the one test that I have for anybody to know if you're called to do something is if you can do it for free, one, or you can do it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week without complaining. That's when you know you're called to do something.
Wow. Absolutely. And that takes us actually taking the time to ask those questions. That's something that I really had to realize, that we think we know what we want. Like it's somewhere in our mind, like, oh, I know what I want in my life. But I remember even in my own journey having to sit down and going, what do I love? What brings me bliss? Like you said, What can I do all day, all night? Time just seems to pass by because it's just a fire in me, and I don't even mind doing it. And I remember having to do that. So just for you that are listening, I really want to point out, you might think you have that, like, oh, I know what I want in my life, or, I live intentional, but sit down and actually ask those questions. You'll be surprised that you may not like some of the things that you think you do, or you may want more things that you didn't think that you wanted. And it's really interesting because, I was talking with someone the other day, and they were saying, as we get older, it seems like we stop asking that question, what do you want to be when you grow up, as if it's only reserved for kindergartners to like third graders. But it was so refreshing to hear that, because a lot of times we think our age cuts us off of what, stepping into our purpose, right?
No. There's no limit. There's no expiration. You know how milk tells you it expires? There's no expiration date to your purpose. And I'm here to tell you right now, whatever it is God has called you to do, it's not too late. It's not too early. If you put your whole body and you submerge in that thing, I guarantee you God will bless you double time, triple time. And for those that told you couldn't do it, I guarantee you will do it. You'll blow their minds, and they'll buy in. They'll buy in to what you're doing. And growing up, Crystal, my mom and dad had already had a plan for my life. They said, well, you can do this when you grow up. You can do that. And I had people around me, aunts and uncles and cousins, you'll be great at this. And so that seed was planted. That seed was already planted. So in my mind, I thought I was supposed to go to school for this. I thought I was supposed to do this with my life, but they were wrong. They were wrong. It wasn't until I truly realized that, this is what I need to be doing. Even though it might not be popular, but it's not about being popular. It's about me being happy, about my life being fulfilled through what I'm supposed to be doing in life.
Wow. That is simply amazing. And with that, we're going to take a quick break, but you better tune back in because Dwayne's going to continue to share with us this journey that he has taken, as if, like he just said, may not be the popular one, may not be what your parents had set up for you, but the one that brings you fulfillment and allows you to be in your purpose. A lot of you have been listening and you're like, gosh, I'm burning, I'm stirring up now, I want to get into my passion. Or maybe you are in that purpose and that passion. What I want to go into now and talking about is, we're all fired up, we're really excited, we're in it, we're doing it, right? We're like at this peak. What happens, what do we do once that kind of falls off a little bit and we're in our purpose for a little bit and it seems like things are coming up? Have you experienced that on this journey?
So what do you mean, like things try to get in the way, Crystal?
Absolutely, or that fire starts to fizzle just a little bit, right? That
excitement
kind of went down just a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, there have been plenty of times, and what really happens is it's the people that'll deter you or try to get in the way. But what you need to do is find something that motivates you. I don't care what it is. It might be a motivational speaker. It might be that one song. It might be reading some scripture. You might have your favorite Bible scripture. But you replay that thing every day. Anytime you feel like you might be getting discouraged or that fire starts to dwindle, you play that thing religiously. I got to give a shout-out to my brother Dwayne Gibson, E.T. the hip-hop preacher, and Coach J. Those brothers, I listen to those brothers every day. I pray every day, and that keeps me locked into what I need to be doing with my purpose. And you need to keep people around you. It's important. I call them my fave five. T-Mobile had a fave five. Keep people around you that's walking in the same thing, walking in their purpose, walking in what God's called them to do. And I'm going to tell you, their motivation will motivate you. Watching them operate in their talent and that gift, it will motivate you. So I'm going to tell you, don't get weary in well-doing, because the Bible said in due season you will reap. You will reap. Just keep fighting. Even when it looks impossible, stay locked in on that target. It reminds me of a horse when a horse running a race. A horse stays focused on the goal. It stays focused on the finish line. I promise you, if you stay locked into the finish line, you'll love the results, and God will bless you.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. That's incredible. And it seems like you've always had mentorship, so you must really value that. Tell me a little bit about your mentor that you had that really was there for that pivotal moment for you.
My mentor, Vern Perkins, that's my uncle. He's more like my accountability partner. And he don't let me slide. He don't let me relax, but he stays on top of me. And see, a lot of times, there are mentors that just give you a blueprint without giving you a guide, without kind of walking you through the process. I feel like it's important to find somebody. It doesn't even have to be somebody that's in the area of expertise that you desire, but it's somebody that can give you good counsel, give you good direction, and can tell you when you're right and when you're wrong, and also make suggestions. Now, I'm going to tell you, they might not always be right, but I believe in the old saying, you eat the meat and you throw away the bone. But my mentor, he always calls me. I always check with him. I always seek out counsel from him whenever I might have a situation or a problem that's arising. I always reach out to him. But a mentor is there to give you guidance and to be an accountability partner outside of what I like to call your fave five.
Yeah, that is really, really important. And I hope if you're listening, maybe you don't have a mentor. Maybe you're like, I've never even thought of that. I think that's so important. Like you said, the wise seek out counsel, right? You're never doing this thing alone. And I really like the concept of that, because a lot of times when we're trying to step into our truth and live our authentic life, it can be isolating. It can feel lonely, because maybe our warm circle of people who are around us, like you said, your parents, maybe your environment of people you go to church with, whoever you grew up with, maybe they all see a certain direction for you, or they don't see your dreams
That's
and your
right.
visions and your purpose. How do you deal with that when you were going through your journey?
When no one saw what I saw with mine, all I had to do was I just kept going. I kept going, and it got very weary because sometimes it felt like, man, what am I really doing this for? I know I'm called to do this, but what am I really doing this for? And I finally realized it, Crystal. I realized that it's not even about me. It's for the people. So if I can just push my way through myself, through my selfish self, and push myself for the people, then that's the end results. That's where the inspiration comes in. The empowerment is for the people. I had to push past my mom because growing up as a kid, I used to dance to gospel music. And, you know, back in the older days, that was kind of weird when gospel music come on, you just start dancing. But pushing through all that, the naysayers, pushing through people not believing in you, not supporting you, not investing in you, pushing through that and realize what the bigger goal is, and whatever that sphere of influence, whatever it is that you're supposed to be doing, as long as you know what that goal, that ultimate goal is, and despite of being tired, despite of what people might say, if you focus on that end goal, I'm telling you, there's victory on the other side. You can't stop. You cannot stop.
Yeah, it sounds like you found your why, and I love that you, just my opinion and observation, have a heart for people because you keep talking in a language that says all of us, right? It's not just Dwayne has to win. One Purpose Mime doesn't just have to win. There's other people involved in this.
Yep.
And I appreciate that. That's incredible. Wow, man, I'm just sitting back like, man, this is just amazing. You are really dropping some nuggets here and blessing me. I know everybody that's listening is probably having to just catch up because that was really powerful. I kind of want to know more about what it is that you do because maybe our listening audience is not familiar with mime or interpretive dance. Can you kind of walk us with what your process is? What is the art form?
Okay, so how I define mime, how God has given to me is taking a story, music, sounds, instruments, and illustrating it in a dance form. If it's tap, ballet, interpretive dance, that the viewers can understand whatever's being done in the background. They can understand it through dance. I like to describe it as if someone is deaf is watching you. You're able to allow them to capture what it is you're doing because you're demonstrating everything that's going on, the actual sounds, even if it's raindrops, even if it's the actual words, because most mimes, the standard mimes don't move their mouths where they talk. But I choose to move my mouth because what if that deaf person can't hear the words that's coming from the music or hear the sounds? They'll be able to help. It'll help interpret it for them through seeing every action, every movement being demonstrated through what I'm doing. Even if it's just a spoken word, I will be able to help them determine what's going on by watching the mouth movements or seeing the motions. They'll see a wind movement with my body, or they'll see the raindrops, or they'll see me act out tears. But it's digging into every aspect. If it's spoken word, digging into if it's just an instrumental, if it's just words, if it's a song, if it's a music video, seeing the interpretation acted out in its fullness. That's the best way I can describe how we do mime on this end, Crystal.
That's amazing, and I've been privileged to see some of these performances, and they truly are. I can't put it in words. You did a really great job. You're right. Because it's just this experience that happens, and it's very touching. When I'm hearing you describe it, it brings up a really good point that I think some of us lose as we get older from childhood into adulthood, and that's creativity. You know, when I heard you describing it, it sounds like, especially with art, you know, there's certain ways that people do things, and somebody will tell you, you know, you're a mime, you don't talk. That's not right. Yep. But for you to be able to allow yourself to say, no, I see something different. I see it like this, and it may not be in the traditional format of what it's been done before me, but I'm here now and you're
That's
seeing
right.
something that other people may not see. I think that's so crucial because I think we lose that creativity, that willingness to try
Right.
something that's never been done before.
Yep. I'm going to tell you this, Crystal. When 2013 came and I knew it was time for me to turn the corner in my purpose, I said, look, God, I'm stepping out here and I'm going into uncharted territories. I've never been in this place. I'm ready to do whatever it is you want me to do with this gift. And that's when the creativity started coming. The more I stepped out of myself, man, that's it right there. The more I stepped out of myself, the more ideas and creativity started flowing to me because I made a commitment that I come out of myself, that I can help touch people through this gift. And see, I was used to doing it the standard, the traditional way, but it wasn't until I said, you know what, God, however you want me to do this thing, I'm going to do it. And that's when the floodgates start open. Thoughts and ideas just start flowing. The more I start putting into it, the more I started devoted. I stayed consistent. I did it every day. I studied music. I studied different sounds. When I listen to a song, I listen for every single thing in that song. I play it over and over and over because I want to make sure that everything in that song is acted out so those that are watching are empowered and inspired in some way.
And that's amazing because I keep getting just from hearing you and listening to you, there's so many people just waiting on you to be who you were created to be in this world. If you would have continued it in this traditional form, you wouldn't have reached someone who needed to see it at that particular time when they needed to. I've been impacted, again, personally, by what it is you do, and I just hope everyone that's listening right now really takes that in. There are other people waiting on you to live your authentic life and be who you are because they want to see it the way you do it. They want to hear it the way you say it. They want to experience you. And if you keep walking the way you are now, letting everybody else's opinions and their critiques and what they say your life should be, right? That word should. Your life should be like this. Success is this way. Happiness is this. If you keep doing that, then we'll be robbed. We'll be robbed in this world because we'll never get to experience you. So one thing that I want to get into a little bit now is you've been walking this thing for a while now. You know what your purpose is. But looking back at when you started or before you, maybe this even became a thing for you, what would you tell that person now, that younger self of yours?
Don't stop. Just keep going. Find that thing that you feel God is giving you. That thing that makes the hairs on the back of your neck stand up, and and stay committed. Stay committed. I can't stress that anymore. Stay committed to that one thing, and don't sway from it. Don't second guess it. Don't question it. Stay committed. It's like I see it like a tree. You plant that seed in the ground, because I just planted a garden for my wife. Plant that seed in the ground, and you start watering that thing, and let the sun hit it every day. You water it every day, and you stay consistent. That root digs deep into the ground, and over time, that root starts developing into a tree or a flower. And if you stay locked in, I would have told myself, stay locked in, stay focused, even though it might storm, even though it might be a tornado, even though it might rain. Stay rooted in that one thing, and I guarantee you go see that tree blossom. You go begin to see fruit come from that tree if you stay consistent. That's what I would have told my younger self.
And I know he would have needed it. I know my younger self would have been like, please give me some comfort in all of this. This is hard. And it can be hard sometimes, you know. We're human, you know. People can be so positive, but we're human. There's things that we all deal with. And that's what I love about sharing stories is that you are not alone. Wherever you are listening right now in your life, no matter what your circumstance looks like, find comfort in knowing that somebody else is going through this, that they've been through it. They've been there. We get it. And we're just here with you, letting you know that you can do this thing. Like Dwayne said, you stay consistent. You stay moving forward. One thing I want to ask is what are some of your routines or practices and things that you do to keep that trek forward even when it gets hard?
When I get up in the morning, first thing I try to do is listen to something that's that touches me, that touches my soul and my heart, and then after that, of course, I visualize a lot. I do a lot of visualization. I kind of visualize where I want to be, just in my gift and my talent, and I often meditate on that. And even when I go to bed at night, I always make sure that I try to go to bed on a positive note. If it's a message, if it's reading the Bible scripture, if it's praying, I just try to keep those practices going that I can stay here. I just feel like it's something about doing those things before you go to bed, and even when you wake up. It's just something that kickstarts your day, and I feel like it's a good way to end your night, and just keep those things repeated. Even if it's something that really motivates me, I just keep that practice going. I keep listening to it. I keep watching, even if it's a certain part of a movie clip. I'll watch that over and over. If it does something to me, something on the inside, I just keep that going to allow me to stay consistent and keep me motivated and drive and empowered.
Wow. Yeah, it's something about that word consistency. And I know for me, I don't know about you guys listening, that can be one of my areas of opportunity, because some days I'm so motivated. Some days I want to stay in the bed. Some days I want to eat healthy. And some days I just want a cheeseburger with some large fries and a Coke.
That's right.
Do you have any suggestions or recommendations of how to stay consistent and having that disciplined lifestyle?
I do it by just I would say stay around people that's consistent. Stay watching things and listening to things that are consistent, because I feel like the more you pour into yourself of what you want to do, and you stay around the people that's doing what you want to do, or they're at that place that you desire to be, even if it's not a gift, but they're operating in consistency, or you're watching someone that stays consistent in what they do. If you stay around that, you stay in that environment, it'll happen. And Crystal, I'm going to tell you, there's nothing wrong with, if you're working out 365 days of the year and you want that cheeseburger weekend, it might be okay to go get that cheeseburger. But in your mind, you know, hey, I'm always consistent. This one cheeseburger not going to hurt me, because Friday I'm back in the gym anyway, so let me go ahead and have a cheeseburger. You know what I mean? So it's okay, long as you stay consistent, long as you know what your end goal is. I don't see anything. I'm not going to tell you I'm not invisible. I do have my ups and downs, but I know I can stay consistent. I know what it takes to stay in the zone. I know what it takes to stay on fire, but you have to know that. Now, I'm not telling you if you can't have that cheeseburger, then you say the next day, I need that cheeseburger. I'm not telling you then you need to do that. But if you know you can stay focused and have that cheeseburger and get back to the grind, then by all means, enjoy that cheeseburger that one day out of 365.
Thank you for the permission of my one cheeseburger. I appreciate that. I needed that today. But seriously, it's a mindset. That's what I'm hearing from you. It's a mindset thing. It's not necessarily about just the doing of it, but you know what's rooted in the foundation of that thinking. And I think that's really important. And just hearing you talk about everything that you've gone through, and especially not having everyone that sees what you see, I just think it's so important to stay rooted and grounded. And so I really, my takeaway just from listening to you and just for the audience is that support system sounds really important in your day-to-day process and your journey. It sounds like you're surrounded by a lot of people that keep you in your truth. They're like, this is who you are, and we're going to make sure you stay there because we know you, and we're here for you. And I think that's amazing.
That's right. Hey, Krista, you know, I'm going to tell the audience one thing is that I didn't find those group of supporters until I truly got devoted to what I was doing. And so you might not find them right away, but you just ask yourself, let me just stay consistent. Let me stay moving, and they'll come. Don't go out looking for them. Don't go out looking for that group of supporters. They'll eventually come around to you, and that's just a good plug for the Bopo tribe. Because when I jumped on Periscope, I felt like I was the Lone Ranger. Only person I knew was Crystal CScretch. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna set this doggone camera up, phone up, and I'm gonna hit live broadcast. I don't care who come in. I can't see their comments anyway until after. And I'm gonna just dance my heart out. I'm gonna dance to God and the angels. And then the Bopo tribe, they came in and they wrapped their arms around me. But it wasn't until I faced my truth and said, you know what? I don't care who's watching. I'm just gonna hit broadcast and I'm gonna dance. If I never would have done that, I wouldn't have ran across the Bopo tribe.
Absolutely. And what he's talking about, guys, again, you guys know I love Periscope, so plug for Periscope. If you have not downloaded the app, you can go to your mobile device and download Periscope. No, it's a live streaming app platform that really allowed a lot of us to connect, like he's saying, and I think it's amazing who you can find in this world, regardless if they're across the seas, if they're here in the country, that gets you, that gets exactly where you are, that understands your vision, that will support you. And it has been an amazing thing. So, yeah, a little plug for Periscope. Go download Periscope. We'd love to see you on there. But it's been awesome. Thank you so much for talking with us. I want to ask you, for everybody that's really intrigued about what it is you're doing, if you want to see this guy dancing live, what do you have coming up next?
Crystal, I'm dropping my video on May 15th at 8 p.m., Safety, a project called Safety. It's totally out of the normal element of what you see One Purpose Mime as. I'm warning you now. I don't want to give away too much, but there's some things in life that gives us a safety net, a place that we can always go and feel at peace and feel encouraged and feel comfort. And that's what the Safety Project is all about. But I'm telling you guys, it's something that you've never seen me do before. But make sure you tune in. Every social media platform, the video will be out there, YouTube, Facebook. It'll be out there. Safety, the Safety Project, May 15th, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Amazing. That is so awesome. Guys, definitely go out and support that. And there's multiple ways to watch. You have a lot of videos already up now on YouTube. I know that's how I first started watching and seeing what it is you do. Again, he's on Periscope. If you want to go ahead and give us those handles and ways to reach you again.
Yep. Periscope, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. All you have to do is type in the number 1, Purpose Mime, M-I-M-E. Same way on every social media platform, even YouTube. Just put in One Purpose Mime, the number 1, Purpose Mime, M-I-M-E. You can even Google and find all my social media platforms from there too. Like me, follow me, I'll follow you back. Tell me, hey, I heard you on Crystal's show, CScretch show. I'll follow you back. However you want to reach out to me, just go ahead and reach out.
That's awesome. I have one more question before we end this, because I don't want to end this. This has been really awesome, and I know it's been such a treat.
Yes,
what is one thing that you just want the audience to take away from, your story and us talking today?
I just want to tell y'all, don't give up. There's a lot of people that just give up and settle for the average, settle for the mediocre, but don't give up. You were uniquely designed with one purpose in life. And once you find out that one purpose, then you can start living your truth out loud. But don't give up. Stay focused. I promise you, you're close to it. You're very close to it. It's just about the consistency and the commitment. As long as you stay consistent in commitment, your truth will find you, and you'll be able to live your truth out loud. That's all I got, CScretch.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you guys again for listening in to Living Your Truth Out Loud. I hope you go into your day, into your week, feeling more connected and wanting to live more and more in your purpose and allow yourself to stand in your truth.